Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new, make sure that you subscribe, that way you'll never miss out on another full moon or a new moon reading. So today we're going to be starting off the new year with a full moon reading. This full moon is in January 6th and it is in the sign of Cancer, the crab. So if you're interested in seeing how to make this full moon work in your favor, I have a lot of tips for you guys, tricks for you guys, advice for you guys. Let's get into it. So this video is sponsored by my Etsy shop. Here you guys can see all of our newest products, our evil eye bracelets, evil eye protection for love, necklaces, the star card necklace, Shri Yantra, and you guys can pick this up on my Etsy shop. And I decided to sponsor my own video, so I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get back to the video. I have my notes here as always so that I can give you guys all the most detailed information that I can without forgetting anything. But the first thing we're going to get into is, what fear have you built up just because you don't trust in something or someone? A fear that you built up because maybe you have been betrayed, or maybe, in a specific situation. And here's the thing. So career, relationships, money, finances, house, anything. You could, like, your real estate agent could betray you, or give you like a bad deal, or your relationship could have cheated on you, or your mom or dad could have like betrayed your trust in some way. It comes in all different shapes and forms and sizes, but there is something that there was a fear that you were dealing with, that you built up within yourself because you lost trust in people or situation or circumstance. And with Cancer, Cancers are such an intriguing energy. They isolate themselves. As soon as they feel threatened, or they feel like they're in danger, or they need to survive, or that they're about to get hurt, they will isolate themselves. So where in your life did you isolate yourself because of fear of getting hurt, or fear of getting your trust broken, or fear of something that might hurt you? Where in your life did you isolate yourself in that because of that fear? This full moons are known to bring up and bring out things. So this time it is facing your fears, you guys. Like, what is a fear that you've had, and how you're gonna face it is gonna come up this full moon. Now, some other things that I wrote down here is, Cancer energy is prone to close themselves off a lot. So around this time, you might want to close yourself off, but you're not going to. This full moon is not gonna let you do it. And especially with I'm not gonna get into like all the rest of the planetary arrangements, because Mercury also has a big play to do in this. Mars also has a lot of a big play to do in this. Mercury is communication. Mars is very fiery. Mars is aggressive. And so we have this little Cancer, this little crab that's like, I don't want to get hurt. I'm just going to go back into my shell and hide into my little hole. And Mars and Mercury are like, no, you're not. So keep that in mind. That is something a lot of you guys are going to experience here. Full moons are here to release something, and so you are releasing whatever that fear was that made you isolate yourself and stick yourself in a corner by yourself. So keep that in mind, okay? Cancers are such a more quieter and reserved energy. So you guys are gonna feel like around this time, it's like a double-edged sword. Like, you're quiet and you're reserved and you don't want conflict and you do not want to get yourself into something where you can get hurt, but life happens. And then when it does happen, you're not gonna crawl back into your shell. You're not gonna crawl back into your hole this time. It's a very different type of an energy that you guys are going to be feeling around this time. Like standing up for yourself, speaking up, speaking your truth, talking, communicating, and really letting your values and your beliefs and your thoughts be known. So that's number one. The second thing I want to talk about is the softness underneath the hard shell of a Cancer. Now we are having a full moon in Cancer, and so a lot of you guys, whatever aspect of your life that you were being really hard, you were being very distant, you were being isolated in, these things are going to come out. The softness within your heart, the softness within you is going to come out in different kind of situations that you didn't even expect. And it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes saying something like this to a client, it might scare them, but every single client, after they experience what they needed to experience or whatever was coming, there's no regret, because you get to speak up, you get to speak your mind, you get to speak your opinion, your truth, what you value, and you don't have to hide anymore. You don't have to shove yourself in a little hole anymore and isolate yourself. And you don't have to create this hard exterior shell when you know you are a loving, caring, soft being inside. And so this full moon is going to bring out those aspects of you that made you create that hard shell, and it's going to crack that shell open. So beware of that and keep that in mind. A lot of you guys are going to be seeing a different perspective in your life where you might have been too harsh. You might have been too cold. You might have isolated yourself too much in a situation where you needed to be a part of. So the full moon is going to push you into that situation where you are being really hard and closed off, and you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to see it. You're going to have to be soft and nurturing in that field of your life, whatever this may be. Now, the third thing that I wrote down here is finding another way to obtain a goal. This is my favorite one. So if you guys have ever seen crabs, how do they walk, right? They walk side to side, like they go like this, right? And so this is actually a tactic that they use for survival. And for a lot of you, I see you guys not going straight forward in this full moon, whatever your situation may be, relationship, career, buying a new house, like whatever your situation is, you're not going straight forward. You're going to go side to side. You're going to find shortcuts, and you're going to find ways to first thing that popped up into my head is like if you had a stalker, right? If you had somebody that just keeps an eye on you, that wants to know what you're doing, when you're doing it, who you're talking to, when you're talking to them, like it's just a stalker, right? If you keep doing what you're doing, the stalker knows your every move. But when you go side to side, you can throw the stalker off. Of course, call the police and stuff too, but it's a way and a tactic for cancers to get their way. And around this full moon, don't be surprised if you find shortcuts into obtaining your new house, if you find shortcuts into making your relationship beautiful again, or whatever the case may be, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, there's a shortcut here that you're going to see. Crabs move side to side, so roads are opening towards your manifestations, but they're not opening in the way that you thought they would open. They're probably opening up in like different types of roads and different types of directions, but they're still opening up. And maybe these directions are shortcuts versus this straight direction that you had in your mind might have taken a little longer or might have had a lot of blocks in it. So keep that in mind around this time. Consume crab. If you eat crab, cook it. Cook crab around this full moon, around the 6th of January, 3 days before, on the day of January 6th, and 3 days after. Cook crab, any kind of sea, anything from the sea that has a shell on it, mussels, clams, consume those things. It will help you tap into this energy, tap into the energy of water as well, tap into feminine energy, which I feel like a lot of you guys need because you're trapped in this masculine energy where you want to be strong so much that you forget your femininity and you forget how to be nurturing and soft, which the crab is both. Crab has soft inner meat and then a hard outer shell. And we're just like that too. And sometimes we become so much so that we forget our softness. So keep that in mind. Okay. Keep crab shell or crab decor in your home. If you want to, what I really love to do is if I ever cook a crab, I keep the shell because my spirit guide, my main spirit guide, his face is on the top of a crab shell. If you guys see this, like 2 horns, eyes, and like a mustache, that's him. And so I keep the crab shells and I light candles in it or I do work in it. I always keep them. They're very meaningful to me because his face is on them. And so keep those kinds of things around you. Maybe if you have a seashell or crab shell or mussels shell or clam shell or something, keep it by your bedside. Maybe light a candle in it. Around this time, it'll be really good for you. It will help to open the roads in that specific area of your life where you need to be a little bit softer and break open that hard shell that you have built up. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is how to get someone's attention, how to get on someone's good side around this time, around this full moon. Okay, the year is just starting, and a lot of people, I feel like, and a lot of you guys, your messages I've seen too, you want to persuade someone for something, you want to get on someone's good side, you want to make a good first impression on a boss that might be interviewing you or something like that. So because Cancers are so reserved, right? We're having this full moon in Cancer. So the energy in the air is going to be of a lot of people being a lot more reserved. Now, how do you how do you break through to somebody that is so reserved and isolated? You compliment them. Genuinely, don't fake it. Don't give anybody a fake compliment. Really something that you might like about anybody. They don't have to be a Cancer. You don't have to be a Cancer. This is just the energy of the air right now. I want to tell you guys, 3 days before this full moon in Cancer, 3 days after this full moon in Cancer, and the day of, I want you to compliment as many people as you can. I want you to pull out your journal and compliment yourself. Write, I was going to say 100. And if you can, write 100 things in your journal about what you love about yourself. Compliment yourself. Compliment the male person. Compliment somebody walking their dog across the street. Compliment something about somebody for these 7 days. 1 compliment a day to a stranger or somebody you love. It's going to create this momentum. And I'm telling you, right after the full moon is over, 3 days after, and if you do this, watch what happens in your life. Watch how many compliments you get. Watch how many offers open up to you. Watch how your abundance opens up. Watch how people are extra nice to you. And your energy, like you walk into a room and people are just gonna know, without even seeing you, that this energy just walked into a room. Okay? Now the next thing I wanted to talk about, number 5. If you're in a relationship, take your partner on a date or plan a date, okay, where there's lots of music. Now, the first thing I thought of is when crabs are in the water, water creates its own music. The waves, the way the waves hit certain things. Inside the water, it's its own sound. You like, if you have ever been snorkeling or scuba diving, you know the sound in the water, it's a constant sound. And so music right now, anywhere that you can go with music, with your significant other, with your partner. If you don't have a partner, engage with music with yourself. If you are a musician, I want you, if you do eat crab, consume crab, eat crab, and then go work on your craft, work on your music, work on your writing and your lyrics and things like that. Or keep a crab shell near you. It will enhance romance. For those of you that are looking for romance and you're single, music with some crab dinner, maybe. Or those of you that are in a relationship, crab and music, okay? And the last, and this is something I talk about in every single video, it is a part of your chakra system that gets affected every new moon and full moon. And chakra systems, we have 7 of them, but we have hundreds, thousands of them. But the 7 main ones, that's what we're talking about today. And the main one is the heart chakra and the solar plexus. Heart chakra is, of course, unconditional love. It is our heart chakra. It's healing of our heart traumas, moving forward with our heart and love and unconditional love and things like that. Solar plexus is right underneath our heart chakra, and it talks about confidence and how much happiness we allow into our lives or we don't allow into our lives. If our solar plexus is not spinning right, then you can suffer from anxiety and depression and things like that. So this is a interesting thing because in the crab, their solar plexus basically takes over their whole body. Their meat is like in the belly, like their belly is the meat, right? So their solar plexus is very, very strong. And so this is a time for you guys to work with green colors, orange colors, and yellow colors. Whether you want to change your bed sheets out to these colors, whether you want to light candles in these colors, whether you want to light incense in, like, say it's solar plexus, that's a yellow, so lemon scented incense, or green is heart, so patchouli scented incense. These will be really good for you to open your roads around this time. It's very important, I feel like, and underrated of how you can use the corresponding herbs to these moon phases, and then you really see how it really does change your life and really you get your way. But I think not a lot of people talk about it, so I wanted to talk about that today. I want you guys to work with pink and green crystals, rose quartz, aventurine, jade, pink tourmaline. Okay, what else? What green crystals are? What else? Those are the only ones that I can think of right now. But if you have another green crystal, use it around this time. Put it underneath your pillow. And pay attention to what foods you're indulging in and why. That's a huge thing. Pay attention to what foods you're indulging in and why you're indulging in these kinds of foods. For me, lately, I've just been eating a lot of carbs. Like, I'm just craving pasta and rice. The other day I was craving liver, so I made it in masala, like Indian masala. If you guys want a recipe, let me know. And so I made liver with some masala, and I've just been craving things like that, like hearty, home-cooked foods that are traditional, So what is it for you? Another thing I wanted to tell you before we head out of the video is to work with pearls. If you have pearls, wear them. If you have pearls, put them out. Take them out, put them on your altar. Or wrap them around a jar glass candle and light your candle. So work with herbs around this time. It will be very lucky. It's very road opening. And another thing, the last thing is to work with white, gray, and silver and blue colors. Okay, candles, bed sheets, however you want to incorporate. You can buy decor in your house, whatever. However you want to incorporate these colors into your life. Clothes that you wear. So that is everything that I have. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before we go, if you guys know of a recipe on YouTube for crabs or mussels or clams, or if you have your own recipe, share it with me, please. I would love to know. I'm like so obsessed with learning new recipes and trying them out. And if you guys do send me your recipe, I might even do like a quick video with it of how to make it magical, what herbs to use to make it magical. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have a really, really good full moon, first full moon of the year, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.